Hello ladies and gentlemen, we are back to continue our module, which is Introduction to Human Anatomy and Physiology. First of all, I thank you all of those who make sure that you click on the subscribe button, and also you shared the previous video. So hope that the video of today, which is musculoskeletal system, also will be amazing chapter that will help you to reveal the curiosity concerning this module of anatomy and physiology. Okay, without taking much time, let us dive into our session today. So we start by introduction. The musculoskeletal system is a combination of skeletal, muscular and articular system of the body, and is responsible for the movement and locomotion of the body. Meaning that this is the system which is the combination of the skeletal, muscular and articular system. Means we have skeleton, we have muscles, and also we have articular system where you found the joints and cartilages and the ligaments, and they are responsible for movement and locomotion of the body. Meaning that for the movement is when the body is when you are moving certain body part, like when you are moving your arm or you are moving your leg. But for locomotion is when you are moving from one point to another. So musculoskeletal system provides form, support, stability, and movement of the body. The musculoskeletal system's primary function includes supporting the body, allowing motion, and protecting vital organ. So here for the support, we have told about it, but for the vital organs, you have to understand where we have these visceral organs like heart, lungs, and other organs that are protected by the skeleton. So we have this scheme which is illustrating what you are going to find in this musculoskeletal system. We have bones, we have muscles, we have joints, we have tendons, we have ligaments, we have cartilage, and the other which we'll be finding in this amazing session. So for the muscles, our skeletal system has more than 650 muscles. Most of them disposed in pairs provide movement, meaning that our skeletal system has more than 650 muscles. The muscles make up about 4% of the body mass, meaning that the muscles count about 40%. Means when you take your body weight and you multiply by 40 and you divide by 100, means that you will have the weight of your muscles. So muscular cells are called muscle fibers. Every fiber contains 1,000 of myofibrils. So inside each myofibril there are many myofilaments that are made of two proteins. Here when we are talking about myo, simply understand the myo is the term used to refer to the muscle, myo. So there's two proteins mainly. You have actin and myosin, where actin is thin and long and myosin is thick and short. We will discuss them later. So functions of this system enable us to move our body parts. Second one, to give us our individual shape. Shape means, when we say about shape, how we look, it's done by the bones. Like when you have for the faces, there is facial bones that make up the shape of the faces of the different individuals. Another function is protect and keep in place our abdominal organs, and also enable us to maintain good posture when you are standing and how you look. It's all about the musculoskeletal system. Also, it helps in the circulation of our blood, and also because here for the circulation of the blood, you have to understand that in the heart we have cardiac muscles that are there for maintaining the rhythmic contraction of the heart. So also they generate body heat when they contract, and also there is heat production. Types of muscles, we have skeletal muscles, smooth muscle, and cardiac muscles. These are main types of muscles that are found in our body. So structure of the muscle fiber, we have found that each fiber is packed with myofibrils, and myofibrils are 1 micrometer in diameter and extend length of fiber, packed with myofilaments. And myofilaments are composed of thick and thin filament that gives rise to bands which underlie striations. We found what is the striations and what is about these bands. So as you see here, this is the muscle. So you have the sarcolemma, sarcoplasm, myofilament, and myofibrils. So smooth muscles, these are muscles that are also called visceral muscles. Means these muscles are found in the visceral organs, like you can find these smooth muscles in the intestines, you can find these smooth muscles in the blood vessels. So non-striated means, and also they are involuntary, means no conscious control. You can't control this muscle contraction yourself. So they are spindle shaped. They have spindle shaped cells, and they are slow, sustained, and tireless. So and also they don't get tired. So found in the walls of digestive tract, as I have said. They are found also in the bladder. They are also found in various ducts, arteries, veins, and other internal organs. So also they are controlled by the autonomic nervous system, and smooth muscle cells are elongated and thin and have one nucleus and form sheets rather than bundles of muscles. So they don't form bundles, but they form sheets. And also we have found that they are involuntary, means they are controlled by autonomic nervous system, and also they are found in GIT, bladder, and arteries and other internal organs. So as you see here, it is the muscle cells. They have nucleus also, and there is what you call endomysium found in these muscles. So this is also the diagram also for better clarification. So skeletal muscles, they are striated voluntary muscle, means they are voluntary, and is the most abundant tissue in human body, and it provides movement. So they are called the skeletal muscle because they are attached to the skeleton, and for that attachment it is done by the help of tendons. Means the tendon is the one that is responsible for attaching the muscle to the skeleton, and the cells are multinucleated, means they have more nucleus, and each skeleton muscle fiber is roughly cylindrical and contains many nuclei, and is closed by alternating light and dark bands, which are called striation. Means when they say that it's striated, meaning that it is closed by alternating light and dark bands, which are called striations. So they are controlled by somatic nervous system, and the skeletal muscles are a composite structure composed of many muscle fibers, nerves, blood vessels, and connective tissues. So the structure of the skeletal muscle, see here, we have articular cartilage. That cartilage found in the bone joint. We have tendon, the structure that is responsible for attaching the muscle to the bone. So when it comes to the parts, we have perimysium, epimysium, muscle fibers, and endomysium. These are the layers. And also we have the blood vessels there in this skeletal muscle. To the diagram also. So as you see there, we found many muscles in this musculoskeletal system, but we can use the following as the reference because we have many. So for example, we have this pectoralis major, as you found on the diagram, it is on letter B, found in the chest. And we have orbicularis olis, which is found there on the mouth. And you have deltoid muscle found on the arm. On the upper arm means it is on letter E. And you have this multipennate. We have found the biceps brachii on this biceps, and also on the other side of the arm we have the triceps muscle. So for letter B we are done with it, and for letter C we have parallel muscle, which is called extensor. On letter D we have extensor digitorum longus. So it is for the leg, and for this letter C we have this one, which is parallel, which is called the sartorius muscle. And on the other leg we have rectus femoris, and on the back of the leg is where we have the hamstring muscles. And for the lower leg is where we found what you call calf muscles. So we continue with the structure of the muscle fibers, where we are having thin filament that we know that this is actin, and the thick filament which is myosin. And also we have the Z disc, titin protein, and we have membrane and H zone, and we have I band and A band. So all of them which make up the sarcomere. Sarcomere is the functional unit of the skeleton muscle. It's about 10,000 sarcomeres per microfibril end to end. And a single sarcomere consists of 2 Z lines and 1 A band and 2 semi-I bands. Composition: for this H zone, it is only found in thick filament, and this A band is found in thick and thin filament, and I band is only a thin filament. So we have the proteins that we found in the muscle, or proteins of the muscle. We have two kinds of myofilaments, which is thick and thin, as we have found before. So myofibrils are built of 3 kinds of proteins. We have contractile proteins, where we found myosin and actin. We have regulatory proteins which turn contraction on and off, where we have troponin and tropomyosin. And we have structural protein, which provide proper alignment, elasticity, and extensibility, where we have titin, myosin, neuburin, and dystrophin. All of them are the 3 kinds of proteins that build myofibrils. So we continue. Cardiac muscle. So you have to know that this muscle is only found in the heart, and is controlled by autonomic nervous system, and has striations, means that alternation of light and dark bands, similar to that of the skeletal muscle. So Here, when they ask you what does it mean to say that the cardiac muscle are striated, meaning that you say that they contain alternating light and dark bands of these myofilaments. So it is involuntary also, and cells are branched and fused with one another. Then contraction of the heart they are responsible for contraction of the heart muscle, pump blood throughout the body, and account for the heartbeat. So for us to have the pulse means that we must have the heart contraction. So cells are short, branching, and have single nucleus. Compared to the skeletal muscles, the cardiac muscles have single nucleus, while skeletal muscles are multinucleated. So you have to know that the cardiac muscles never tired. No, never get tired. So the diagram is here. We have interstellated disc. So you see, it's where the cells connect to each other at this disc. So cardiac muscle cells are called cardiomyocyte. So when you see cardio means heart, myo means muscle, and cyte means cells. So cardiac muscle cells are also called the cardiomyocyte. It has got numerous mitochondria, of course, because many mitochondria or numerous mitochondria is required in these muscles because they need more energy to make contraction happen. So also they have rhythmic contraction. We are going to the skeleton system. So simply you have to know that for the skeletal system we have axial skeleton and the appendicular skeleton. So functions of them, we have movement, we have support and protection, and also they make blood. For red blood cells and white blood cells, all are formed in the cells called the bone marrow. So for red blood cells are found in the red bone marrow. For white blood cells are found in the yellow bone marrow. So for storage, they store minerals such as calcium and magnesium. So bones, the human skeleton is the internal framework of the body. So it is composed of 270 bones at birth. This total decreased to 206 bones by adulthood after some bones have fused together, because the newborn or the baby is born with 270 bones, but as you grow up, the bones gets fused and we remain with 206 bones due to that fusion. So the human skeleton can be divided into axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton, as I have told before. So axial skeleton is made up of 80 bones, which is formed by vertebral column and the rib cage and the skull and other associated bones. So it protects the major organs of the nervous, respiratory, and circulatory system. So as you see, for the vertebral column, we have 7 cervical vertebrae. So the first bone of vertebra, you have to know that it's called atlas, and the next one is called axis. So for the next, we have 12 thoracic vertebrae, and the next we have 5 lumbar vertebrae, and also we have sacrum and the coccyx. So for this sacrum, there is articular surface of the sacrum, and we have the coccyx where we found some fusion of the bones, but it is called coccyx. So bony structure of the thorax or thoracic cage, we have for the ribs, we have true ribs. From the first to the 7th rib, we have true ribs because they are attached directly to the sternum. So from the 8th to the 12th rib we have false ribs, and from the 11th to the 12th ribs we have what we call floating ribs, because they don't touch on the sternum, either direct or indirect. Because the false ribs, they are attached to the sternum in indirect way, because it requires the cartilages to attach there on the sternum. So for the sternum, it has this part as you are observing on the picture. It is manubrium, we have sternal angle, we have the body, we have syphisternal joint, which is the joint between xiphoid process and body of the sternum, and that sternal angle is the part that is between manubrium and the body of the sternum. So for the intercostal space, you understand that it is the part between the, or it is the space between the intercostal or the ribs, and also you have costal cartilage and costal margin. So we continue for the skull. As you see here, we have different bones of the skull. We have temporal bones, we have parietal bone, we have the sutures, where these skull bones are attached together. We have squamous suture, which connect the temporal bone and the parietal bone. We have rhomboid suture, which is the where we found the connection between the parietal bone and the occipital bone. We have mastoid process, which is the bone found there, and we have styloid process, and also we have zygomatic process, and we have temporal process of zygomatic bone, and those all of those bones form what we call zygomatic arc. And for the facial bones, we have frontal bone, we have sphenoid bone, we have ethmoid bone, we have maxilla, we have zygomatic bone, we have mandible, and the other bones that form or that make up the skull bones. So for the appendicular skeleton is where we are having 126 bones, which is attached to the axial skeleton, and it is formed by shoulder girdle and the pelvic girdle and the bones of the upper and lower limbs, means the arms and the legs. So it makes the body movement possible and also protects the organs of digestion involving organs of digestion, excretion, and reproduction. So like in the pelvic girdle is where we found these reproductive organs. So as you see here, we have the clavicle and scapula. All of them are found on this shoulder girdle. We have humerus, we have radius, we have ulna, and then we have hip bone, means we are on the pelvic girdle. We have carpal bones, metacarpal bones, and pharynges. Means we are on the hand, and we move to the femur bone, which is the longest bone in the body. We have patella, and we have tibia, means the patella is found in the knee joint. We have tibia, we have fibula, we have tarsal bones, we have metatarsal bones, and we have pharynges, which is found on the foot. So continue. For these long bones, we have what you call compact. We have the part where we found what you call the compact bone and what we call spongy bones. So compact bone, the osteocyte occupies small cavities or racinae at the junction of the lamella. As you see there, we have on the spongy bone, which is the soft one, but the compact bone is the hard one. And the spongy consists of tuberculi and function as the start of the bone. Tuberculi contain irregularly arranged lamella and osteocyte interconnected by canaliculi. So as you see, there is what you call the compact bone and spongy bone. All of these parts are found in the long bones, like that femur we were saying, or that humerus we were saying. So there is also the nutrient artery. There is what you call metaphysis, and there is distal epiphysis and diaphysis, and the metaphysis also, and also we have proximal epiphysis. So bone cells, we have osteogenic cells which develop into osteoblast. We have osteoblast cells, which is growing portion of the bone, including periosteum and endosteum. And also we have osteocytes, which maintain mineral concentration of the matrix. And we have osteoclast cells, which are responsible for bone resorption. So in simply, osteocytes maintain bone tissue, osteoblast forms bone matrix, and osteogenic cells are the stem cells where these osteoblasts are generated. And you have to remember that the osteoblasts are these immature bone cells. So for the osteoclast resorbs the bone. So classification of the bones, we have long bones, which have a long shaft and two distinct ends. Long bones are all bones of the limbs except patella, wrist, and ankle. All other bones of the limbs are found in the long bones except patella, found in the knee joint, wrist found in the between the hand and there's a radius and ulna, and also ankle bone. So we have the bones, and the bones of the fingers are also found in the long bones. They are usually somewhat curved for the strength. So short bones are roughly cube-like, and they are cube-like and the cube-shaped and have approximately equal length and width, providing support and stability with a little movement, found in wrist and ankle bones. So flat bones are thin, flattened, and usually curved, and provide considerable mechanical protection and extensive surfaces for muscle attachments. Example, you have scapula, sternum, ribs, and the cranial bones. Or cranial bones means it's the bones of the skull. So irregular bones don't fit into the previous categories, means for the long and short bones or even the flat bones. They have complicated shapes and consist of cancerous bone with a thin outer layer of compact bone. We have example for the vertebrae, means these bones of the vertebral column, and we have mandible, so found in the skull. We have hip bones, and also we have sacrum. So sesamoid bones, these are short or irregular bones embedded in a tendon. So it passes over a joint which serves to protect the tendon. So exact example that fit in this category is what we call patella or the kneecaps. So classification of the bones on the basis of the shape, as we have discussed in the previous slides. We have long bones, example humerus of the arm. They are longer than being wide, and they bear the weight. For the short bones, example carpals of the wrist, they are about the same length as the width, and they bear weight. So for the flat bones, they are example, we have the parietal bones of the skull. They protect the brain and thoracic organs. For the irregular bones like vertebrae, and also for the flat bones is where we are having these bones that are curved, and sesamoid like patella, they are small and round. So joints, also called as articulation is where the bone and cartilage come together to form a connection. Joint classified by structures into three types. We have fibrous joint, which is immovable. We have cartilaginous joint, which is partly movable, and we have synovial joint, which are freely movable. So fibrous joint, all bones of the skull except for the mandible are joined to each other by a fibrous joint called the suture. So are joined by dense regular connective tissue that is rich in collagen fibers, means the suture is also a joint. So cartilaginous joint, primary cartilaginous joint is also called the cychondrosis. There's a bands of the hyaline cartilage unite the bones, and epiphyseal plate form temporary or movement. There's also called synatrotic. Example, connection between sternum and the ribs. So secondary cartilaginous joint is found in the, also called the symphysis, is also found in the, like in the pubic bone. Also that one found in the vertebrae column. The joint, the exact example here is the joint between the bodies of the adjacent vertebrae. So parts of the fibrocartilage between the bones, the movement is called amphiarthrotic. So synovial joint is also called diarthrosis. The synovial or a joint cavity is filled with synovial fluid, the most common and most movable type of joint in the body of a mammal, and the human fit in this category of the mammals. So as you see here is where we are having pivot joint between this C1 and C2 vertebrae, cervical 1 and cervical 2 vertebrae, and we have hind joint found in the elbow of the arm. We have saddle joint between trapezium carpal bone and the first metacarpal bone, and we are having plane joint between tarsal bones, and we have chondroid joint between radius and carpal bones of the wrist, and we have bar and socket joint found in the hips. So cartilage is a flexible connective tissue including the joints between bones, the rib cage, the ear, the nose, and the branchial tubes, and the intervertebral discs. The cells are called the chondrocyte, and they grow faster and forms the embryonic skeleton. So kinds of cartilage, we have hyaline cartilage, which is most common and found in the joint. We have elastic cartilage, which is found in epiglottis and the ear. We have fibrocartilage, which is the annular fibrosis of intervertebral disc and the menisci of the knee. So we have tendon, which is also called a sinew, is a tough band of fibrous connective tissue that usually connects muscle to bone and is capable of withstanding the tension. Then tendons are similar to ligament, and both are made of collagen, and ligaments join one bone to another, while tendons connect bone to the muscle. So ligament is a fibrous connective tissue that connects bone to other bones and is also known as articular ligament and articular lagula or fibrous ligament or true ligament. And the ligament are similar to tendons and fascia as they are all made of connective tissue. So the difference in them are in the connection that they make. Ligament connect one bone to another bone, while tendons connect muscle to the bone, and fascia connect muscle to the other muscle. So as you see here, we have anterior cruciate ligament, we have lateral collateral ligament, we have lateral meniscus. So osteomalacia, for here we are coming for the disorders of the musculoskeletal system. This osteomalacia is the softening of the bones caused by deactivated bone mineralization, primarily to adequate levels of available phosphate and calcium. Means here is when the bone is getting softened due to the deactivated bone mineralization. Means there is a few minerals in the bone. So the most common cause of the osteomalacia is deficiency of vitamin D, which is normally derived from the sunlight exposure and to a lesser extent from the diet. So symptoms, we have muscle weakness, we have difficulty walking, often with wandering gait. We have hypocalcemia, means you have decreased calcium in the blood. We have compressed vertebrae and diminished stature, and you start to have the decrease in the decrease in the height. We have pelvic flattening. We have weak soft bones. There is easy fracturing, and also there is bending of the bones. So the treatment, they include daily sufficient vitamin D, and also we provide the proteins. Another disorder is what we call Paget disease. It is the chronic disease of skeleton, and the normal growth of the bone is changed. So bones break down more easily, and also the bone can grow larger than before. And also bone that replaced is soft and porous. Symptoms, you have pain in or over the bone. The affected area may be feel extra warm, and the shape of the bone may be changed. So the bones of the legs may blow out or bend, and for the skull, the bone in the skull may get bigger. So as you see here, mainly the bones of the axial skeleton are the mostly to be affected, and the additional bones is for that pelvis, thigh bones, which is femur, and the shin bone, which is tibia. So questions, you see this question is like deflection. So you choose the right answer because it is given. Next question, you will